Prayer is the foundation of the unity movement. So let us join together with our prayer partner this Sunday, Susan Hagar, as she leads us in prayer. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you, Linda. Indeed, we join together in prayer and we are holding in our hearts those who come to mind, our friends, our families, the world at large. There is much prayer needed, and we know the value of it at Unity. So I invite you now to bring to mind or to place in the chat box those who you wish to pray for and with. And take a deep breath and let go of a busy mind, the morning's activities. And we connect within where we know we are one. And we are using our power of imagination this morning. Conception, vision, embodiment. And we know, as we open to this truth of this one power and one presence, we know that God is, that Source is, that Creator is, and therefore I am. And as God is imagination, I am imagination. And I hold in my mind's eye harmonious relationships, health and healing, the perfect job or mission or role. All that it is that my heart desires is mine in my imagination, and I embody that which I see, and I create through this imagination. And I know there are infinite possibilities for me, for my family, for humanity in this place of oneness, of wholeness, of truth, of the limited possibilities that exist for us through our consciousness. And I am grateful for this knowing, for this truth, for the healing that comes through it. And I release this prayer, knowing it is so. Amen.
Thank you, Susan. So it gives me a great pleasure to welcome Reverend Janet Ellis, who will provide both the meditation and the first of a two-part series on the power of imagination. Now, before we begin, and before I do a formal introduction, I want to remind you that for those of you on gallery view, you may want to change to speaker view to get an optimum experience of Reverend Janet's presentation. Reverend Janet is an impassioned speaker, spiritual life coach, interfaith minister, published author, training consultant specializing in personal resilience, emotional and spiritual wellness, leadership, and organizational renewal. So in addition to all of that, we met Janet from the land of the free at the moment, from Texas, in 2005, when Reverend Roxanne invited her to lead us in a powerful Night of Dreams workshop. Those of you who were there at the time will have flashbacks to just the wonderful, wonderful time it was. And we had so much fun, and we also pushed ourselves way outside our comfort zones, and we used the power of our imaginations. I can't think of a better person to speak about the power of imagination than Reverend Janet, as she invites us to wake up to our imagination, that which we may have fallen asleep to long ago, only because we didn't know we did. And we don't know what we didn't know. So please sit back, relax, and open your hearts and minds to receive Reverend Janet's meditation and message. And first, Spencer will lead us in the meditation song, Oneness.
I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I realize there's only one power. 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 Here's the next slide. I realize I'm one with the one. I realize I'm one with the one. I realize I'm one with the one. I realize I'm one with the one.
Good morning. And now is the time for us to come together as one in the energy of imagination. So where you are right here, right now, in that space of total oneness with yourself, with spirit, with every individual that is on this Zoom, I ask you to take a deep breath in and release the energy that is not needed for this day to become a full and joyous day. And as you sit in this space of oneness, give yourself permission to bring that imagination forward. As you sit in this time, acknowledge that you have it, that it's truly yours. Claim it and know. And in that space of imagination, what is yours today? What is yours today to wake up to? Where do you see yourself today, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now? Where are you? What are you doing? What does it look like? Breathe into that. Breathe into the good. Breathe into the passion. Breathe into all that you're longing for. Imagination gives you opportunity and permission to be all that you are meant to be here, all that you have to offer, all the gifts, all the love, all the kindness and compassion, all together, rolled up in you. So as you sit in the silence for a moment, embrace yourself and your thoughts. Imagine if there was nothing, absolutely nothing that could get in your way. What would your life look like today? What image can you bring forth for yourself? And sit in that space with it. Love it, nurture it, hold it, acknowledge it, wake up to it in the silence.
I got it. We're not using the code.
Hi, Reverend Janet. I just wanted to let you know you've been muted accidentally. If you are speaking, could you please unmute?
I was muted the whole time.
Yeah, you went into silence and then you were muted during the
Oh,
silence.
sorry.
Sorry about
Oh.
that.
That's okay. So if you will gently take a breath, if you haven't already come back, please do so. Breathe in deeply and bring that image, your imagination, back forward with you. Bring it to the present, right here, right now. Embrace it, honor it, love it and yourself, and know that this is your truth. And as we know, your truth will set you free. And so it is. Hmm. I wonder how that happened.
Go ahead, Janet.
Okay. Are we set?
All set. Yep.
I'm sorry. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Janet Ellis here from Austin, Texas, actually. If you see around me, I'm on a screened-in porch at a 200 square foot tiny house with a very dear friend of mine. And I've been spending the last few days with her because she just got out of surgery and got her home yesterday, and she's doing great. So if you hear birds and you hear dogs barking and you hear pitter patter of rain, just enjoy it and blend it in with the talk, because I think it's a big part of it, and it should be pretty phenomenal. So anyway, I'm so glad to be here. So glad to be here with you all today. So originally the conversation with Reverend Roxanne, was about imagination, as we said. And it's an important piece for me because it has affected my life in so many ways. So let's just talk about the 12 powers for a minute. Charles Fillmore and the 12 powers and the imagination. Your thoughts, as we know in Unity, attract things with a force that you cannot see, but we know that it's there. It's definitely real. Can we agree about that? Can we agree with that? Kinda, sorta? Okay. So point being is, how many of you realize that you have that ability, that you have that imagination, and that chance and opportunity at every point in time of your life to make a choice that could take you to wherever you want to go? The question is, do you know that you have that ability, and do you know that you can create whatever it is you want? So Linda mentioned something earlier that I thought was very appropriate. Back in 2004, I was sitting at the Unity Church in Arlington, Texas, and had been involved in this group that created a workshop called Night of Dreams that Linda spoke of. And there was an interim Reverend Josette Jackson. She was at our church for the summer, and she happened to be there when we led the Night of Dreams. And then Reverend Josette was hired by Unity of Ottawa at that time to minister there at your church. And right before she left, she contacted the gentleman that created this program and asked him to send somebody to Canada to help create this workshop there in Canada. And I was sitting there in the congregation at the time, and I am not kidding you. I'm sitting there and I keep hearing this, tell him you want to go, tell him you want to go. And I'm going like, no, I don't, I don't want to go. Don't make me go, don't make me. And I ended up standing up and walking to the front and telling Josette that I would be the one to go. Now, if you knew me then, it was very scary. It was very challenging. And I have no idea. I didn't know where, how, when, what, any of the individual things that were supposed to happen to get me there. I just knew that I was the one that was supposed to go. And I spoke up, and that's all I did. I didn't do anything else. There was nothing else for me to do at the time because I had no idea what I was doing. What I do know now is that my imagination was working within me and creating this part of a life that I didn't even know existed for me before I had that opportunity to step forward. So my question to you is, what is it that's in your heart? Where is it in you, deep down in you? Where is it that you would like to be today, that you would like to be tomorrow? I mean, Unity teaches all the concepts, for years I've been going to Unity and learning and reading and educating and wanting to do and be all that I know about the teachings that Unity has. And if I don't put it into action, it serves no purpose. And so the biggest thing for me, first of all, is waking up to the fact that we do have imagination. We have that ability within each one of us, correct? Somebody nod. Somebody. We do have that ability. Unfortunately, we have been inundated with other information and other people's beliefs and other people's ideas that somehow, somewhere, it's been snuffed, and we don't know, as Linda was saying earlier, we don't know that we don't even know, if that makes any sense, that we have the ability to wake up any dream, any idea, anything in our imagination. The big point here is, where do you go in your imagination? Where is it when you're sitting there, just say a minute ago in the meditation, when the mute button went on and I didn't know what was going on, where did you go in that moment? Were you in that space of, ooh, I got some extra time here and I can meditate? Or, oh my God, we've messed up again. Oh, what's happening? Do I even want to listen to this? Oh, on and on and on. Because that's where I go sometimes. So the question is where are your thoughts going? Where does your imagination go when you don't even know that your imagination has kicked in? It's so important, you guys. So recently I had an experience, well, about a year ago. I had an idea about writing a book, and I followed my dream, and it's been a challenge. It's been bittersweet. And the goal of my imagination at the time was to take what I had learned and put it to service to other people, to be able to understand that there are others out there that may have same issues that I do, and that my learnings and my life lessons would be of benefit to others that I could share with them. And so I wrote this book, and it did get published, and it's called Wake Up, Break the Generation Cycle, and Be Yourself. Now, in that moment that I was so consumed with imagination and so consumed with the idea of what I could bring to others and what I could create for others, and where I could go with this and how I could help other people, be who they truly want to be. I didn't take into consideration everybody's feelings in regards to this process. And so it's been bittersweet. It's a wonderful experience. I've had a number of talking engagements and book signings and such, and I've also had a family that has disowned me. And so in that space, I have to say, if it is your passion, if it is your love, if it is your longing, if it is in your imagination and it tugs on your heart, you have to do it no matter what comes with it. Don't let anything stop you. Imagination is so important. The spirit of truth projects into the chamber of imagery and pictures that, rightly understood, will be a sure guide for all people who believe in the omnipresence of mind. If you believe truly in the teachings and the understandings that we learn through Unity and other beliefs, that you have the ability to create whatever it is you want to create, you have to claim it. Because if you don't claim it, we don't have that ability to go further with it. We don't have the energy, we don't have the drive, we don't have the passion that it takes for your imagination to blossom to where it really would like to blossom. I know you all have a heart's desire somewhere. In the time I spent there at Unity of Ottawa, I cannot tell you guys how much of a blessing it has been for me. I have a family in Canada. You don't know it yet, but I do. And there's a couple of people that are here today. I mean, Lynn, Linda, Roxanne, all these different individuals that opened up their homes and their hearts to me. Forever, I will be grateful. Forever, I will be grateful that I took that opportunity, no matter how freaking scared I was, to step up and say, I will go. Had I not done that, I would not have stayed at Roxanne's house with her 2 kids and learned so much from them. I would not have been able to connect with Linda, with Bonnie, with Kim, with Gary. I mean, all these people and the experiences I had in Canada. I was ready to move there, you guys. I was ready to move to Canada. It was my new home till my husband came and saw how cold it got, and then that stopped it real quick. But for the most part, my heart is still in Canada, and it always will be with you guys. And had I not stepped up and taken that opportunity of imagination in that moment, I would have missed out on major things. I would have missed out on so many things. So I know it can be scary at any age. And I know that we get caught up in our everyday routines, and we get caught up in our everyday dealings, and we get consumed with just the automatic reactions that we do on day to day, that we sometimes don't take the time to really take a look at what we are imagining in the moment. Is it negative? Is it positive? What does it look like? Are you being true to yourself? Are you caught up in the subconscious comments that are there integrated in you, no matter how old you are? I mean, take a moment, just take a moment and just sit there. And I do this off and on constantly, so I can kind of get an idea of where I am. If you stop talking and just listen to what's going on here, just listen and hear what you're telling yourself constantly. What are you saying to you? How is your imagination pondering inside your brain there? And it's not just about the day-to-day stuff. It's more about the deeper, passionate stuff that you really are longing and loving to connect with. We tend to just kind of blow that off because we think we have to do the daily stuff. And we really don't have to do the daily stuff. If you sat down and allowed yourself that time and permission to go where you really, really know you can go, the deepness, that connection that we have inside of us, and be with it. Really listen. Give yourself the gift of being able to listen to what is going on inside of you. Everybody dreams. Everybody dreams. Correct? Everybody dreams at some point in time. Sadly, most people go to the automatic negative of, oh my God, I'm not going to make it. Oh, there's not enough money. Oh my God, I don't have this, blah, blah, on and on and on. And truthfully, for me, Unity's teachings have pulled me out of that to a certain level. I still go there, though. I'm human. We still go there. The importance is to focus that energy that you have into the imagination of the positive, of what you want. It's interesting because my friend Beth and I watched a movie last night, and it was called The Secret, but it had the movie was about this woman who's, of course, it was about a woman whose husband passed. She had 3 kids, house is falling apart, tree fell in the roof, blah, blah, on and on and on. Everything was falling apart. And she was just a negative Nancy, as they say. And this man shows up. And he has a gift for her, but he hasn't been able to share it with her yet. And so he, from the observation of the gentleman watching her, she has gone to the point of not being able to see any good outside of herself at all. I mean, every time she tried to better herself, she got broken down again. And it took this man coming out of nowhere, according to the movie, to put a different perspective there for her. And sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes it takes somebody else to juggle you out of your dream state. And that dream state being that automatic response that we do that we don't even know that we're doing. Is that making sense? Somebody nod for me. Thank you very much. So everybody dreams, but the great majority do not attempt to interpret the handwriting on the wall. And that's the big piece. If we don't take the time to bless it, to acknowledge it, to know what it is, then it makes it very difficult for us to create what it is we want if we don't know what it is. And I think that's for most people in my observation and coaching and ministering and talking, most people don't know what they want because they spend most of their time walking around just trying to survive. And that's not what we're meant to do here, people. We're supposed to be living a life of love and kindness and compassion and connection, which we so truly need right now. I know it's there. I know we can do it. We're doing it right here on the Zoom, which is fabulous. The fact that I can be with my Canada family right now is just blowing my mind. And that I'm sitting out on a patio in Austin, Texas, being able to share the breeze and the birds and whatever with you. It's amazing. So your interpretation of your dreams and your inspiration and your ideas are so important, and we must take time for it. We need to take time to connect with it. If nothing else, to wake up to the fact that we do as individuals have the opportunity to create whatever life we want. But it's up to you to do it. You cannot, yes, there are people there to support you. There are people there to honor you. There are people there to hold you accountable if that's what you want. But unless you know what you know and you connect with that you know, you're not going to be able to move forward at all. And we need you to move forward. We all need to move forward. Imagination is powerful. Everything in the spirit, the soul, the body, everything we do. Everything we do starts from imagination. Every thought, every action, every decision, every choice. I don't know if you guys remember this movie. Beth and I were talking about it yesterday. The Sliding Door, Gwyneth Paltrow. That fascinated me so much. It's such an old movie, but it is so fascinating because it splits the movie in, if she makes this decision, it shows you the path that she ends up going on. And then if she makes this choice, it shows you the path she would go on if she were to go that. Oh my goodness, people. It's amazing. And her imagination and her ability to follow through once that choice is made, you get to see how her life began and how it was directed and how she ended up going. Imagination is so important in our life, and we do it on a constant basis. So we need to wake up to it. We need to be connected with it. We need to acknowledge that we have it, we own it, and we want it in our lives. You got to want it. You got to want to be able to move forward because it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of motivation. Roxanne can tell you, I sat, I'm telling on you, I sat in the basement of her house. You guys, I had such a hard time when I first got there, and I stood there in her basement going, what have I done? I want to go home. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know anybody. And ended up by the 6 weeks, I knew everybody in that area. I had gone and introduced myself to everybody. Half of them didn't talk to me, but that's okay. I mean, in Texas, we say hi to everybody and y'all don't, but that's okay. It's just that I made a connection. I made an amazing connection. And I would never trade it for the world today. So because of my imagination and a kick in the butt, I ended up in Canada. 3 different times. And I now have a family there that I absolutely love and adore. So sit with your imagination. Take your dreams literally. Give yourself permission to embrace what it is that Charles Fillmore has been talking about this whole time. Feel it in your body, feel it in your soul, feel it in the passion of who you are. What is it? How do you want to show up? Who do you want to be? We need you. We need you. We need you. Thank y'all.